Leadership is often misunderstood. Many believe that being in charge means having power over others, giving orders, and demanding respect. But true leadership is not about authority or dominance. It is about service, responsibility, and inspiration. The difference between a great leader and a toxic authority figure is not in their title, but in their mindset. Leadership is earned, not commanded. The problem arises when people confuse fear with respect. A toxic authority figure operates on the principle of control. They believe that people will only listen to them if they intimidate, belittle, or exert pressure. They think that making people feel small gives them more power. And for a while, it may seem like it works. People obey, follow orders, and do what they're told. But what they don't do is trust, innovate, or go the extra mile. They comply, but they don't commit. They work, but they don't believe. True leadership, on the other hand, is not about control, it is about influence. Influence is earned through trust, consistency, and care. A great leader understands that people don't follow because they are afraid. They follow because they believe in the vision and trust the person leading them. A true leader is someone who lifts people up rather than pushes them down. They create an environment where people feel safe to contribute ideas, take risks, and grow. One of the biggest misconceptions about leadership is that being tough makes you effective. People think that the harder they are on others, the more they will get out of them. But fear-based leadership is a short-term strategy with long-term consequences. When people are afraid of making mistakes, they stop trying new things. When they feel undervalued, they stop giving their best. When they don't feel trusted, they start looking for a way out. The result is a toxic work environment, high turnover, and a team that does just enough to get by, but never enough to excel. In contrast, great leaders understand the power of psychological safety. Psychological safety means that people feel comfortable being themselves, sharing ideas, and admitting when they don't know something without fear of ridicule or punishment. When leaders foster this kind of environment, teams become more creative, engaged, and driven. People take ownership of their work, not because they are afraid of the consequences, but because they care about the outcome. They push themselves not out of fear, but out of commitment. Think about the best leader you've ever worked with. What made them stand out? Was it their ability to command obedience, or was it their ability to inspire? Did they make you feel small, or did they make you feel capable of more than you thought possible? True leaders don't just demand results, they empower people to achieve them. They recognize strengths, nurture potential, and create an environment where people can thrive. A toxic authority figure believes their position is a right. A true leader understands it is a privilege. They don't just seek power, they take responsibility. They don't just expect loyalty, they build relationships. They don't see people as tools for their own success. They see their success as the result of the people they serve. Many people who become toxic authority figures don't even realize they are doing it. They think they are being strong, decisive, and effective. But leadership is not about how strong you appear. It's about how strong you make others feel. If people are afraid to speak up around you, if they only do what you say without ever offering their own ideas, if they work just hard enough to avoid punishment, but never push themselves to excel, then you are not leading. You are controlling. And control does not create long-term success. So what kind of leader do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person who forces people to follow, or the kind of person people choose to follow? Do you want people to work for you out of fear, or to work with you out of respect and trust? The choice is yours, but remember this: the most successful and fulfilled leaders are not those who take power, but those who empower others. The legacy of a great leader is not measured by the authority they held, it is measured by the impact they left on the people they led. Empathy is often seen as a soft skill, something secondary to success, but in reality it is one of the most powerful forces in leadership, relationships, and personal growth. Many people think that being tough, emotionally distant, or purely logical makes them more effective. But the truth is, the most successful people in any field are those who understand and connect with others. The ability to step into someone else's shoes, see the world from their perspective, and acknowledge their emotions does not make a person weak, it makes them powerful. The people who lack empathy, the ones who are dismissive, who see others as tools rather than human beings, may achieve a certain level of success in the short term, but they will always hit a ceiling. Their relationships, both professional and personal, will be limited. They will never inspire true loyalty because people don't feel connected to them. They may get compliance, but they will never get commitment. They may get results, but they will never create something lasting. The reason is simple. People do not give their best to those who do not care about them. When a person lacks empathy, they create an environment where others feel unseen and unheard. They assume that if they don't struggle with something, then no one else should either. They see emotions as distractions rather than as signals of something deeper. And because of that, they dismiss concerns, belittle struggles, and ultimately push people away. They wonder why their employees are disengaged, why their friends drift away, why their relationships feel shallow. They don't realize that the problem is not the other people, it's their inability to connect. Empathy is not about agreeing with everyone or always giving people what they want. It's about understanding. It's about recognizing that other people have experiences, challenges, and perspectives that are just as real as your own. When leaders practice empathy, they don't lower their standards. They create environments where people feel safe enough to reach them. When businesses prioritize empathy, they don't become weak. They become more innovative because people are not afraid to share their ideas. When relationships are built on empathy, they don't become soft, they become stronger because both people feel valued. Empathy is also a powerful tool for self-awareness. When a person lacks empathy, they often become blind to their own flaws. They assume that their way of thinking is the only valid way, and as a result, they stop growing. They don't realize how their words or actions affect others, so they keep repeating the same mistakes, pushing people away without understanding why. But when someone practices empathy, they gain a deeper understanding of themselves. They become more open to feedback, more adaptable, and more capable of real personal growth. Many people who struggle with empathy do so because they are afraid of vulnerability. They believe that if they acknowledge emotions, either their own or someone else's, they will seem weak. But the opposite is true. The ability to recognize and navigate emotions is what gives a person strength. It allows them to build real relationships, to inspire trust, and to lead effectively. The strongest leaders, the most respected figures, the most successful people in any field are those who understand that empathy is not a liability, it is an asset. Ego is one of the biggest obstacles to empathy. When a person is driven by their ego, they prioritize being right over understanding others. They see every disagreement as a battle to be won rather than as an opportunity to learn. They resist feedback because they see it as a threat rather than as a chance to improve. They focus so much on proving their worth that they fail to see the worth in others. This is why ego-driven individuals often struggle in leadership, in business, and in relationships. Their inability to see beyond themselves limits their ability to grow. Ego creates insecurity. People who operate from a place of ego are constantly seeking validation. They need to be seen as the smartest, the strongest, the most successful. But because they are so focused on their image, they never develop true confidence. Real confidence does not come from proving yourself to others. It comes from knowing who you are. It comes from understanding that your value is not determined by your title, your status, or how many people agree with you. It comes from the ability to stand firm in your beliefs while still being open to learning. When a person is ruled by their ego, they struggle to build real connections. They push people away because they are so focused on themselves. They struggle to collaborate because they always need to be the one in control. They resist change because they see it as a threat to their identity. And in the end, their insecurity holds them back far more than any external challenge ever could. The people who achieve lasting success are those who put their ego aside. They are willing to admit when they are wrong because they value truth more than being right. They are willing to listen because they know that learning never stops. They are willing to support others because they understand that success is not a competition, it is something that grows when shared. One of the most powerful things a person can do is to recognize when their ego is getting in the way. when they feel defensive, when they feel the need to prove themselves, when they dismiss someone else's perspective without considering it, that is the moment to pause. That is the moment to ask, am I acting from a place of confidence or from a place of insecurity? Because true strength does not come from dominance, it comes from self-awareness, it comes from the willingness to learn, to listen, and to grow. At the end of the day, the people who make the biggest impact are not the ones who demand respect through fear, but the ones who earn it through empathy. They are not the ones who force their way to the top, but the ones who lift others up along the way. They are not the ones who let their ego dictate their actions, but the ones who have the courage to put it aside in pursuit of something greater. The question is, which kind of person do you want to be? Trust is the foundation of every successful relationship, whether in business, leadership, or personal life. Without trust, communication breaks down, teamwork suffers, and progress stalls. Yet trust is not something that can be demanded, it must be earned. Many people make the mistake of assuming that authority automatically grants them trust, but authority and trust are not the same thing. A title may give someone power, but it does not guarantee respect or loyalty. True trust comes from consistency, integrity, and a willingness to put others before oneself. Trust is built through actions, not words. A leader can stand in front of a team and say, "You can trust me," but if their actions contradict their words, those words mean nothing. Trust is built when people see that their leader is reliable, that they follow through on their promises, that they act with honesty and transparency. It is built when people know that their concerns will be heard, that their contributions matter, and that their leader has their best interests at heart. On the other hand, trust is destroyed the moment a leader prioritizes their ego over their team, when they take credit for others' work, when they fail to communicate openly, or when they make decisions that benefit themselves at the expense of those they lead. One of the fastest ways to break trust is through inconsistency. People want to know what to expect. If a leader is supportive one day and dismissive the next, if they say one thing and do another, if they enforce rules for some but not for others, trust erodes. People stop feeling safe. They start holding back, second-guessing their decisions, and focusing more on self-preservation than on doing their best work. The best leaders understand this, which is why they strive to be predictable in the best way possible, by showing up consistently, treating people fairly, and creating a stable environment where trust can grow. Another critical factor in building trust is vulnerability. Many people believe that showing vulnerability makes them weak, but the opposite is true. When a leader is willing to admit when they are wrong, when they acknowledge their mistakes, when they show that they are human, it creates an environment where others feel safe doing the same. It encourages honesty, openness, and continuous improvement. Leaders who pretend to have all the answers, who refuse to admit fault, who shut down conversations that challenge them, they create a culture of fear, not trust. And in a culture of fear, people do not take risks. They do not share their ideas freely, and they do not give their full potential. Trust is also about reciprocity. It cannot be a one-way street. A leader cannot expect trust from their team if they do not first extend trust themselves. Micromanagement, excessive control, and an unwillingness to delegate all signal a lack of trust, and when people feel that they are not trusted, they respond by doing the bare minimum, by avoiding responsibility, by withholding their best work. But when a leader shows trust, when they empower people, when they give them autonomy, when they believe in their abilities, it creates a powerful cycle of trust that strengthens the entire team. The absence of trust creates a toxic environment. When people do not trust their leader, they become disengaged, unmotivated, and eventually they leave. No amount of talent or skill can make up for a lack of trust. It is the invisible force that determines the success or failure of any team, company, or relationship. The best leaders understand that trust is not given freely, it is earned every single day. And it is fragile. A single act of dishonesty, a single betrayal, can undo years of trust building in an instant. This is why integrity is so important. The people who make the biggest impact are those who recognize that trust is not just a leadership tool, it is the foundation of everything meaningful and lasting. Trust is directly connected to personal growth. When people feel trusted, they take risks, they innovate, and they grow. But when they feel controlled, restricted, or doubted, they stagnate. This is why the best leaders invest in people's development. They don't just tell people what to do, they guide them, mentor them, and give them the tools they need to succeed. They create an environment where learning is encouraged, where failure is seen as part of growth rather than as something to be punished, and where people feel safe to stretch beyond their current abilities. Ego often gets in the way of trust. Leaders who operate from a place of ego struggle to build real relationships because they see trust as something that benefits them rather than as something that benefits everyone. They use trust as a tool for control rather than as a foundation for collaboration. They expect loyalty without giving it in return. But true leaders understand that trust is not about manipulation. It is about mutual respect. They do not demand it, they earn it through their action. Creating a culture of trust means fostering an environment where people feel safe to be themselves. It means removing the fear of punishment for speaking up. It means rewarding honesty rather than punishing mistakes. It means being transparent, communicating openly, and making decisions that prioritize people over personal gain. And most importantly, it means leading with integrity. Because trust is not built in a single moment, but in the sum of every action, every decision, and every interaction. In the end, trust is not about titles, authority, or control. It is about character. The people who are remembered, who make a lasting impact, who build legacies that outlive them. They are the ones who understood that trust is not a strategy. It is the most valuable currency in leadership, in business, and in life. And the choice to build it, protect it, and honor it is a choice that defines not just the success of a leader, but the success of everyone they influence. Success is often misunderstood. Many people believe that success is about personal achievement, wealth, or power. They measure it in terms of titles, possessions, or the number of followers they have. But true success is not about what you have. It is about who you become. It is not about how many people serve you. It is about how many people you serve. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily those with the most money or fame, but those who have made the greatest impact on others. The people who leave a lasting legacy are those who understand that real success is not about climbing a ladder alone, but about bringing others up with you. The mistake many people make is thinking that success is a destination. They believe that once they reach a certain level, once they get a certain job, once they have a certain amount of money, they will finally be successful. But success is not a final point. It is a continuous journey. There is always another level of growth, another challenge to overcome, another opportunity to learn. The moment you think you have arrived is the moment you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing is the moment you start falling behind. One of the biggest obstacles to success is the fear of failure. People avoid taking risks because they are afraid of making mistakes. They hesitate to step outside their comfort zone because they do not want to face rejection or criticism. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of it. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every world-changing innovator has failed often more times than they have succeeded. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not that the successful never fail. It is that they do not let failure stop them. They learn, they adapt, and they keep going. Many people chase success for the wrong reasons. They seek validation, thinking that success will make them feel worthy or important. But if your self-worth is tied to your achievements, you will never feel satisfied. There will always be someone more successful, always another goal to chase, always a new challenge to face. True success comes not from external validation, but from internal fulfillment. It comes from knowing that you are living with purpose, that you are growing, that you are making a difference in the lives of others. Success is not a solo journey. No one achieves great things alone. The most successful people are those who surround themselves with others who inspire, challenge, and support them. They build strong relationships, they learn from mentors, and they invest in the growth of those around them. Success is not about standing at the top alone. It is about lifting others up along the way. It is about creating a legacy that continues even after you are gone. Leadership plays a crucial role in success. The most effective leaders are not those who demand respect, but those who earn it. They do not see leadership as a position of power, but as a responsibility to serve others. They lead not by controlling, but by inspiring. They recognize that their success is measured not by their personal achievements, but by the success of those they lead. They create environments where people feel valued, where creativity thrives, and where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. One of the most powerful traits of successful people is resilience. They do not give up when things get difficult. They do not let setbacks define them. They see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow stronger. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It is about facing it with courage and determination. The ability to persevere, to keep going when things are tough, to believe in yourself even when no one else does. That is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Another essential trait of success is self-awareness. The most successful people take the time to reflect on who they are, what they want, and how they can improve. They do not assume they have all the answers. They seek feedback, they listen to others, and they continuously strive to grow. Self-awareness allows them to recognize their strengths and leverage them, but it also allows them to acknowledge their weaknesses and work on them. They do not let their ego get in the way of their progress. The impact of success goes beyond personal achievement. The greatest successes are those that create positive change in the world. The people who are remembered, who leave a legacy, who make a difference. These are the people who use their success not just for themselves, but to help others. They saw success not as an end point, but as a tool to create a better future. At the end of the day, success is not about how much money you make, how many awards you win, or how many people know your name. It is about the lives you touch, the lessons you learn, and the person you become. It is about leaving the world better than you found it. And the most successful people are those who understand that real success is not measured in what you take, but in what you give. Success is often misunderstood. Many people define it by material wealth, status, or power, but true success is much deeper than that. It is not about how much you accumulate. It is about the impact you have. It is not measured by what you get, but by what you give. Those who chase success for selfish reasons often find themselves unfulfilled. The ones who truly succeed are those who understand that success is not a destination. It is a journey of growth, contribution, and purpose. It is about becoming the best version of yourself while helping others do the same. One of the greatest barriers to success is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. Too many people let fear control their actions, keeping them trapped in their comfort zones. But comfort zones do not lead to success. Growth only happens when you step into discomfort, take risks, and challenge yourself. Every successful person has failed at some point, but they did not let failure define them. They learned from it, adapted, and kept moving forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the willingness to take action despite fear. Success is not a solo journey. No one achieves greatness alone. The most successful people surround themselves with those who challenge them, support them, and push them to be better. They build strong relationships, seek mentorship, and learn from others. They understand that success is not about standing at the top alone, but about bringing others up with them. True leaders do not hoard success for themselves. They create opportunities for those around them. They recognize that the more they help others grow, the more they grow themselves. Resilience is one of the most critical traits of successful people. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks, failures, and obstacles are inevitable. The question is not whether you will face challenges, it is how you will respond to them. Some people let adversity break them, while others use it as fuel to grow stronger. The most successful individuals are not the ones who avoid difficulties, but the ones who face them with courage and determination. They refuse to quit. They find a way forward even when the odds are against them. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about learning from it and using it as a stepping stone to something greater. Success is deeply connected to purpose. Those who chase money, fame, or power for their own sake often feel empty even when they achieve their goals. But those who align their actions with a deeper purpose find true fulfillment. Purpose gives meaning to hard work. It provides direction and motivation. It fuels persistence in the face of challenges. The most successful people are not just driven by personal gain. They are driven by a mission larger than themselves. They want to create value, solve problems, and leave a positive impact on the world. When you operate with purpose, success becomes more than just a personal achievement. It becomes a way to serve others and create lasting change. One of the most overlooked aspects of success is self-awareness. Many people chase goals that society tells them they should want: wealth, titles, approval, without ever stopping to ask themselves what truly matters to them. Successful people take the time to understand who they are, what they value, and what they want to contribute. They do not blindly follow the path others set for them. They create their own path based on their strengths, passions, and vision. They continuously reflect, learn, and adjust to stay aligned with their true purpose. Integrity is another cornerstone of success. Talent and intelligence may open doors, but character is what keeps them open. People will follow and support those they trust. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It means keeping promises, taking responsibility, and treating others with respect. The most successful people understand that shortcuts and unethical behavior may bring temporary gains, but true success is built on a foundation of honesty and principles. Success requires discipline. Talent and ambition are not enough. Consistency and hard work are essential. Many people start with excitement but lose motivation when things become difficult. Successful people do not rely on motivation alone. They build habits and routines that keep them on track. They commit to their goals even on the days when they do not feel like it. They understand that mastery comes from repetition, improvement comes from persistence, and greatness comes from showing up every single day. The ability to adapt is another key factor in success. The world is constantly changing, industries evolve, challenges arise, and circumstances shift. Those who resist change get left behind. Successful people stay open to new ideas, embrace change, and continuously seek to improve. They do not cling to outdated methods just because they worked in the past. They innovate, learn, and grow. They remain curious, ask questions, and challenge themselves to keep evolving. Ultimately, success is not about reaching a final point, it is about continuous progress. There is no single moment where someone becomes successful and stops growing. Success is a lifelong process of learning, improving, and contributing. The most successful people understand that fulfillment does not come from external achievements alone, but from the journey itself. They find joy in the process, meaning in the struggle, and purpose in their efforts. They recognize that real success is not measured by what they have, but by the impact they make and the legacy they leave behind.